So, hey guys, what's up? It's been a couple weeks, maybe a month, I don't know. But today, I'm actually going to do a review because I haven't done a review of anything in a long time. And figured I will do it on my commute home because honestly, really that's the only time I can really sit and talk. When I get home, I'm generally too busy, like, doing stuff around the house, or doing stuff for my shop, or spending time with Derek, because really, we don't get to see each other, on the weekends, and yeah. So, Cult of Chucky. It's the newest installment in the whole Child's Play, franchise, and I think this is number 7, and I mean, I think honestly, along with Curse, it's a nice little reboot of the series. I'm a big fan of Child's Play 1 and 2. I like 3. Like, I know a lot of people don't really like it, but I like it. Not my favorite, but I like it. Was not a fan of Bride and Seed. Only because I'm not really a fan of horror comedy. Really, like, okay, I like horror comedy with a standalone, but when you start a series off as serious and then it like transforms into horror comedy, then I have a problem with it because I'm so used to that character being serious. I don't really like, it's just a weird thing to me, and I just don't enjoy it. Like the Nightmare on Elm Street films, they were great, well, except for 2. 2 was terrible. Like 4, 5, and 6 was where it started to become more horror comedy, and then you have Freddy vs. Jason, and that was just like all the comedy with just kills, like really awesome kills in between. But yeah, so alright, with Curse of Chucky, you have Nika, who has been sentenced to an insane asylum because you know, everybody believes she killed her family, essentially. And basically the doctor that's assigned to her case has made her believe that it was really her that killed everybody, and she's really schizophrenic, and Chucky was just a manifestation of the schizophrenia, and that he wasn't real. And so apparently she's made enough progress in, I think, 5 years that they transfer from maximum security to minimum security, or no, medium security. Yeah. And then, like, I don't know if it was a group therapy thing or what, but in one of these sessions, the doctor pulls out a Chucky doll, and it kind of triggered something in Nika, and I mean, as it should, because freaking scary as hell. And then, like, with the arrival of that doll, and then something else like, I don't really want to spoil it, like, early on. I'll probably go into spoilers later, but yeah, just stuff starts happening, and it was great. Like, there were still some comedic elements in it, but it was more, it had a more serious tone, similar to, I wouldn't say it's similar to Child's Play 3, but Child's Play 3 still had the serious tone, but also the comedic elements in it, where, like, but it was, I don't know, because in 1 and 2, especially in 1, he was more of this shadow figure. Like, he, you never knew that it was him, dude. I mean, like, you kind of had an idea, but you never really saw everything until later on in the film, you know? It was more, like, quiet. Like, you kind of felt like, oh, was Andy really doing this? But anyway, so, and then that's the kind of tone you get from this one, is you don't really see him doing a whole lot of stuff until a certain point in the movie, and then it's just, you know, Chucky as normal, sort of, kind of. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I had problems with it, which I'll get into with the spoilers, but overall I enjoyed it. I think, like my friend Skin Slip, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5, because there were certain things that I had issues with, and I'm sorry about the movement. Atlanta roads are kind of crap. But yeah, it had all of the elements that I love in a Child's Play movie. And so I really hope that they do make an 8th movie, and kind of like, 'cause I want to know what happens to certain characters that we didn't get to see in this one. And speaking of characters that we haven't seen in a while, like, I will say I had some issues with the appearance of Andy. And with that, like, I will tell you, I enjoyed this movie. But with that, I'm going to go into the spoilers now and tell you the stuff I had problems with and spoil bits and pieces of the movie. So if you don't want to be spoiled, stop here. And if you don't really give two craps, keep going. So, yeah, Andy makes an appearance in this movie. And at first you're like, the way the synopsis played out, like, was written, you thought that he really had a role in this movie and he was really going to help Nika. But as the film went on, you're kind of like, what the crap? Like, why is he in this movie other than fan service? I was really hyped up when I saw him in the beginning, and then I saw, like, what he was doing to the Chucky head in the cabin. Okay, pause. By the way, okay, in this movie, in Cult, you have more than one Chucky. Like, he has figured out through voodooForDummies.com how to transfer his soul into multiple dolls, and even, like, basically anything with two legs. Like, he can put himself into anything. And so Andy has the original head, the head from Curse, because he was mailed, if you remember the end credits, Tiffany mailed that doll to Andy, and Andy pretty much shot him, and now he's a head. And it talks, and Andy has, like, a good old time torturing the crap out of that head. So yeah, there's multiple Chuckies, and the whole, like, torture scene in the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, he is totally gonna, like, start tracking down whatever, and he's gonna save the day, blah blah blah. And that is not the case. This is really not the case. And I was really disappointed in that. Like, that's one of the bigger issues of this movie that I had. And there was, like, little, I don't know, sometimes when I watch a movie, I think about things way too much. Like, okay, these people are in an asylum, and they have what I'm assuming are triggers about, you know, what put them in here. Like, there was this one woman who, I think her name was Maddie. I think, yeah, that's what her name was. Your Honor, excuse me, I'm gonna get real up close and personal so I can merge into Atlanta traffic. But the woman was put in the asylum because she killed her baby. They didn't say a specific diagnosis, it's just that she killed her baby. Like, she just went crazy and killed her baby. And in the group session, the doctor brings out a Chucky doll that is apparently, like, being sold in Hot Topics in this particular realm. And immediately Maddie attaches to this doll and believes it's her baby, like a real living baby. And it's kind of like, and they, like, the doctor lets her, like, there's no problem with this. And I'm like, but I don't understand why, like, this is an obvious trigger for this woman, and I feel like this is not helping her, it's hurting her. But then I gotta be like, okay, if they didn't let her do this, then it, like, would kind of throw off the whole, like, how the movie proceeds, pretty much. Where, like, yeah, but it's bizarre. And I don't know, I had a problem with certain things. And, like, when the doctor brought it out, it's kind of like, would that really be helping Nika by bringing this doll out that in the beginning she thought so vehemently killed her family. But yeah, I think about stuff way too much. I put too much thought into things, and it just, it doesn't really ruin it, but I'm just kind of like, what? It's a problem. I need to stop it. But yeah, Nika, she's going crazy. She feels like she's going crazier and crazier because she's been led to believe that she was the one who killed her family, and so it's kind of like now, maybe she's starting to believe, oh my gosh, I'm killing all of these people, and it's just, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And then you have Tiffany coming in, who, if you remember in Seed, took over the body of Jennifer Tilly, which is pretty funny. And apparently she was Alice's guardian. If you don't remember who Alice is, it was Nika's niece in Curse. And come to find out, Alice died. And then it's kind of revealed in the end that Chucky did take over her body, and he went on a kill. Basically, he was starting to kill people, and then one of the people she tried to kill fought back and killed her. So yeah, that was kind of crappy, but but yeah. So the murder, the kills in this movie were actually really good. One of my favorites was Claire. Claire has an anger management problem, and I think she burned her house down, her family's house down or whatever, and she doesn't believe the whole Chucky thing. And then finally, when she does believe that he's real, it's basically too late for her. But she's tied down to this gurney, and she can't move because the doctor gave her this paralytic, and Chucky they leave, and Chucky comes in, they leave Chucky in there, they just put him on a chair. But he gets down, he grabs this can of compressed oxygen, I think it is, or compressed air, and Claire can't do anything. She's trapped down to a table, and there's this big glass sunroof thing overhead, and he throws the compressed air down, and it shoots up, and just glass comes out and eviscerates her. And I enjoyed that kill. That was a pretty good kill. But as the movie goes on, it just gets more crazier. And I loved the set in this movie. It was very sterile and just saturated, and it was a different feel for a Child's Play or Chucky movie. And it made the blood that much more apparent when blood splash everywhere, and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, in the end, the doctor turns out to be a real scumbag, and Chucky makes the comment that I think everybody's loving. He's like, that's just diabolical. I don't know whether to take notes or kill you. And I laughed hard at that one because that was pretty funny. But the doctor gets his in the end. And I was kind of bummed when they killed Carlos. But yeah, towards the end, there's actually 3 Chuckies. And I guess this would be the climax, is the reveal of the 3 Chuckies. And they all have different looks too, which is great. And then that's when it's kind of oh yeah, I can transfer my spirit or soul into as many as I want. And that's the whole cult thing, is millions of hundreds of millions of little Chuckies running around killing people, which is that, I feel like that's a good idea, bad idea, but plot wise it's pretty cool. And so it turns out that Chucky really doesn't want to kill Nika. He actually possesses her, and now Nika can walk. He can animate body, but if he can animate a doll, he can surely animate a human a paraplegic who can't walk, you know. And so it was really interesting seeing this character walk for the first time. And then like there's this kind of like showdown between her and Andy, because Andy manages to get himself into the asylum by like committing himself, and he had sent one of the Chucky dolls into the asylum as like, I don't know, to hide a gun, but I don't know if he knew that the one Chucky would like wake him up pretty much, but he did. And then there's like that Chucky doll comes in and is trying to kill Andy, but Andy like just murders the hell out of that one and gets a gun, but it uses all the bullets, which I don't understand. That was so stupid. So when Chucky as Nika comes in, like he can't do anything, and Nika like runs off and locks him in there, and he's just sitting there, and that's where we leave Andy, is he's in the asylum now and he can't really do anything. So that was the point where I was like, really? Like that's where you're gonna leave that? And so that like really irritated me. So I'm really hoping they do an 8th one and they kind of, you know, resolve this some way. But I do have to say that Nika as Chucky, like Fiona Dourif playing the character her dad made famous, it was actually pretty cool. Like, she looks like him, and she, like, when she does that laugh, she sounds exactly like him, and it was creepy as hell, and I loved it. So overall, this film was great, but I still have to stick with the 3.5 out of 5, just because of like little problems, especially the Andy thing. The Andy thing I had issues with, but yeah, in the end, like Tiffany's outside waiting for her, and they have this little love scene, a little bit, like they kiss, and it's, you know, it's good. And then they kind of ride off into the sunset with the little Tiffany doll in the back seat, and you realize, oh crap, Tiffany can do the same thing. Like, she can put her soul into multiple things as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing where they take the 8th one, if they do an 8th one, and I really, really hope they do, especially with the after credit scene. Another spoiler, Kyle comes back, and if you don't remember Kyle was in the second Child's Play. She was the foster sister in the home that Andy got put in. And yeah, she makes an appearance. She comes to, you know, torture the Chucky head, and I really liked that. That was a good ending. But yeah, so that's my review of Cult of Chucky. And leave me a comment below about what you thought. You know, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I will talk to you guys at some point. Bye.